Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of the AVC Fantasy Focus. My name is AVC and as you can see I am alone today. Yay. I was thinking about possibly not doing this, but so many people wanted it. So here we are. With an important game coming up this Thursday night, it'll be Dallas and Minnesota. The elite offense meets the elite defense. Oh, what a fun setting for fantasy. Let's get to it. Now, for the starts and sits, start with the Cowboys. Cole Beasley is a start this week. I mentioned him a couple times. His great chemistry with Dak Prescott, and with defenses more focused on Dez and Zeke, Beasley always slips through the cracks. Another potential start I had this week is if you're really, really stuck for a defense. This is a big if. Dallas D could be an option. I wouldn't dump any other defense really for them unless you have no confidence in the one you have. But against a poor Minnesota offense, I mean, still could be a good matchup. Dallas has been a bit of an underrated defense this year. We'll move to the Vikings now. For starts, Kyle Rudolph. He's a good fantasy tight end. He always is in the red zone, touchdowns. All right, moving on. Diggs, if he plays, he's their real number one receiver. Dallas' secondary isn't the best. It's decent. It's not great, though. If he doesn't play, and even if he does, Adam Thielen, I believe, is still a reliable option. If you notice, and a lot of times, number two receivers tend to get better receiving yards and touchdowns when the number one receiver isn't anything amazing. Now, I'm not saying Diggs isn't good, but he's not on the same caliber as guys like Brown, Jones, and Green, who are going to hog up catches and yards and touchdowns. So, look for Thielen. As far as sits, for the Cowboys, okay, hassle for this again, but Dez. He's a streaky, inconsistent wide receiver against a defense that has stopped the most elite receivers in the league this year. They stopped Odell, and they stopped Jordy Nelson. They can definitely stop Dez Bryant. They also would sit Dak Prescott. He's going to, despite how good that O-line is, he's going to get taken down quite a few times this week. This Minnesota defense is that good, and he's probably going to throw a pick. So, wouldn't go with Dak. For the Vikings, I'm just going to cover these again. I've covered them before, but if you still have anybody in that Vikings backfield, dump them immediately. That's just a terrible idea to have them in the backfield. The other thing is, I don't care how stuck for your quarterback are. To Colin Kaepernick for all I care. Bradford is not good, especially for fantasy. He's a terrible fantasy quarterback. He's not even that good of a regular quarterback. So why would you want him on your fantasy team? All right. We're now going to move to the game predictions. Okay. So the big story is, can this elite Vikings defense slow down or shut down this Cowboy offense? I don't think they can shut them down. I do, however, think they can slow them down. Dallas's principle to win games this entire year has been score early, then hold on to the ball and create long 7-8 minute possessions. When Dallas is able to do that, they win a football game. Because the other offense is never on the field as much. That's how they beat Pittsburgh. That's how they beat most of the teams they played. That's how they even beat Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. The other thing is, that's how they rely on winning, but Minnesota prides on doing the opposite. They pride on shutting down those long possessions with their elite defense. Take that away from Dallas, it becomes an interesting ballgame. They've lost to the Giants this year, which people seem to keep overlooking. Everybody keeps saying, oh, they lost because Dak and Zeke, the rookies, first game, they weren't ready. Yeah, bull crap. Bull. That's not why they lost. They lost because the Giants' defense slowed down their offense. And they took advantage of what their defense was able to give them. They took those 8 7-minute drives away from Dallas. and they won. That's the formula to beating the Dallas Cowboys. Minnesota's defense can do it. They definitely can. They're probably better than the Giants' defense. Here's the thing. While that may be true, I don't know or think if that does happen, can Sam Bradford and this poor Vikings offense without Adrian Peterson and with literally, compared to Dallas's offensive line, a group of middle schoolers going up against NFL players, can they really capitalize on the opportunities their defense is going to give them? Because their defense is going to give them opportunities. They're going to get opportunities to do different things. Probably going to get a few red zone looks. They're probably going to get some good field position. But can they actually take advantage of it? That's the problem. That's been Minnesota's problem all year. If they had Teddy Bridgewater and Adrian Peterson fully healthy, they would have Dallas's record right now. Guarantee it. Guarantee you they would. Because their offense would just be that much better. But without that, Bradford has shown, especially through this slump time for the Vikings offense, that he really just isn't that good. He really just isn't. So, it's kind of almost a tiebreaker here because Dallas' D isn't that good, but I think Minnesota's offense is worse. That could be the major thing in this game. However, the Vikings are at home this week. And their season is really just on the line this week. They cannot lose this game. They really are serious and they want to make the playoffs. They can't lose this game. They have to beat Dallas. They have to beat them tomorrow night. Season's on the line, in home, in a beautiful new stadium, in front of their hometown fans, where Bradford does play the best. This is bold, but I think Minnesota picks up the victory. I really think they do. I think defense wins. That's always been my philosophy. I predicted Denver would beat Carolina because of their defense. After I watched the AFC Championship game, I knew Denver was going to win. If you really have a good enough defense to stop the other team's offense, you will win. Rules of the game state, you cannot win if you can't score. Simple as that. Rhodes can shut down Bryant. Harrison Smith can cover anybody over the top. He's the I'm just going to say he's the best free safety in the league. This D-line can get through that O-line, and they will. They can get to Prescott. They can get to Zeke. And if they can't, that elite linebacking core can. So, I'm saying Minnesota. Minnesota, I think, will win this game. Now, returning to what I said earlier, can their offense actually capitalize? That all depends on Bradford. This game comes down to if Sam Bradford can produce. Bradford, this is your moment to shine. This is your moment of the season. This is the most important, probably, game of your life. Are you clutch? Or will you choke? That's what this game will hinge on. And on that note, I will be ending this episode off here. Sorry it's not longer. I know you guys love to hear me talk, but nothing left to cover. So, as you already know, my name is AVC. I will be seeing you guys on Saturday. We'll get Max and Teddy back for our normal coverage of the Sunday games. And, yeah. Oh, by the way, I've been meaning to ask this for a while. Really, please, give me an honest feedback of how you think this channel is doing. And any suggestions you have, please leave them in the comments below. Along with any questions you have. I really want to stress that. That helps the channel a lot. As always, this is AVC. This is AVC Fantasy Focus, the best fantasy advice on YouTube. And I'll see you guys on Saturday.